Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, Lagos. Good morning, VI. Good morning, Edgar.
Good morning, Mike.
How you doing?
I'm good.
Hold on. It's great to be here on the Monday. Oh. Just take it up. Just continue. I don't resign.
It's a brand new Tuesday, and we are right here on time. To give you guys your dolly days, dolly dose of energy, good vibes, and everything in between. You're welcome to Wake Up Nigeria.
Definitely, wherever you are, Lagos, Nigeria, West Africa, around the world, because you can catch us anywhere around the world. Port Harcourt, Abuja, Sokoto, Maiduguri, wherever you are, we're here to make your morning wonderful with all the feels and all the vibes that you need to kickstart your day.
Yeah, this is that one show that makes your morning better and brighter.
We've got all in store for you: entertainment, fun, education, and all of that served hot for you like fresh dodo. Or puff, if that one is your...
How you call it?
If you are tuned. Puff. Why
put in some air. Put in some air.
Why did two? Always two.
Yeah.
Puff. Moi. Chin.
Emphasis.
Today I want chin.
No, I don't want chin. I don't want chin.
Like puff.
I don't know
why. Why did you dualize? Why? Well, maybe you might want to tell us a little bit later. My name is Mike Mesikeno.
My name is Edgar Eric, and now remember that you can be a part of the show. Tell us what you feel, why you think it is always 2-2, all right? You can use the hashtag Wake Up Nigeria on TVC. You can also hit us up on the website, www.tvcentertainment.tv.
Definitely. GOTV, channel 16. Then, of course, the terrestrial band will be the ultra high frequency 49. You can catch us there. And TVC Entertainment _ on X, Instagram, Facebook, and of course LinkedIn, TikTok. Join the conversation. Use the hashtag Wake Up Nigeria on TVC. Okay. Well, let's kick off what we have this morning. It's quite I'm not normally here on a Tuesday, so Edgar.
That was why he said. That's
why I said Monday because it's quite strange. But I've got a chef in the house.
Yeah. So we have Chef Steven. Now he will be preparing something spectacular. It's strawberry crepes.
Yeah.
In the kitchen this
morning. I've always asked that question. I always ask it. What's the difference between a crepe and a pancake? So maybe he'll tell us.
He'll tell us today.
He'll tell us a little bit later. Okay, we've got a performer, a woman, a powerhouse gospel artist, worship leader, and creative storyteller whose voice carries both spirit and strength. Will be here on the show this morning.
All right, on relationship, joining us to discuss communication in love is family, relationship and marriage counselor, is Andre Omewile. We can't wait for that one as well.
Definitely, looking forward to it. And then we've got Atewo Alaolu Oguni, popularly known as Skooki Pishao, a relationship coach and former Afrobeats musician who has had hits like quite a number of them. Any banga, Maye, and all of that. Yeah, Maye, any banga. Pardon me there. But I like to say former. Is he actually retired fully from music?
Do they ever retire?
Do they ever retire? Yeah, so we'll ask him, are you really retired and all of that? But he'll be here on the show this morning.
All right, our final guest is Ikechukwu Eric Uzu, popularly known as Ric Hassani. Now, he is, of course, everyone knows Ric.
Yeah.
Now, he is a Nigerian singer-songwriter who blends soul, pop, and African music. Now, he is widely known for his polished style and gentleman persona.
Yeah, clean guy.
Clean guy, fresh always. We cannot wait to have a great discussion with this young man.
So it's a Tuesday, yeah? It's the, third of June. The year don't go.
Just like that.
Just 2025.
What is your biggest achievement so far this year? What's the biggest thing you've done this year?
I've been alive. I've survived, and that's no jokes.
For real? That is your biggest.
No jokes.
Wow.
I'm alive because I was talking about something a few times before. Earlier on there, I said. You might have 99 problems, but then a health challenge comes in, and then you have only one problem.
True.
And then I saw somewhere health is wealth. No, health past wealth. There's health, then there's wealth and health that is under it. The number one is staying healthy, and because of a number of things I know happen to a lot more people, being healthy, being alive is a very, very big achievement. So maybe for that one, you can pat yourself on the back and say, hey,
you've done well.
You've done quite well.
You've done well.
Okay, yeah. Good morning. It's the third day in the month of June 2025, and it's the news this morning. My name is Mike Messikeno. The West African Examinations Council, WAEC, says logistic challenges and alleged compromise of one of its printer vendors were responsible for the late-night conduct of English language examination in different parts of the country. The committee has now given WAEC 24 hours to provide a detailed report of the circumstances surrounding the unfortunate incident. National Assembly correspondent Joke Adisa reports.
Material to Taraba.
At last, the head of WAEC appears before the House of Representatives Committee on Examination Bodies. Amos Dangote apologizes to the committee for his inability to honor earlier invitations as he pledges respect for the institution. To the business of the day, the committee seeks answers to why candidates wrote English language examination late into the night.
I did mention that you should be very open to this committee and by extension Nigeria. We are aware that the English language, the paper leak, our preliminary findings show that paper leak. You have to be open. Tell Nigeria what happened.
Mr. Dangote says the council's printer performs barely 50% of its capacity, forcing it to rely on two other printer vendors to meet up with its needs. He alleges that one of the printer vendors compromised and leaked the English language paper. WAEC also cites logistic challenges as part of the problem.
We were given what looked to be a compromised examination, and we swung into action knowing the implication of having a compromised examination.
Angry committee members fired questions at the head of WAEC as they accused the council of endangering the lives of the candidates.
You have more than one country, 2, 3, 4 countries, and it's only in Nigeria that they had to write the exams by 11 p.m. So other countries did very well in managing their logistics. In Nigeria, we failed.
At what point did you realize that the machine was working 50%, very close to the examination, or which year did you notice that?
You have exposed Nigeria to the level that people are laughing at us. Is it this a sabotage against the government? I am not part of APC government.
Are you going to affirm those examinations written in those conditions?
At the end of the interface, the Committee on Basic Education Examination Bodies handed down a 24-hour ultimatum to WAEC to submit a comprehensive report of the circumstances surrounding the controversial conduct of the 2025 English language examination. Joke Adisa, TVC News, Abuja.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says he expects more prisoners of war will be exchanged with Russia following yesterday's round of peace talks in Istanbul. Speaking after a NATO meeting in Vilnius, he restates support for a new set of sanctions to pressure President Vladimir Putin into agreeing to a ceasefire. The head of the Ukrainian delegation confirms Russia has now handed over a memorandum outlining its negotiation demands, saying the potential meeting between President Zelensky and Putin has also been discussed. Russia says they've agreed to return the remains of 6,000 soldiers and offered a 2 to 3 day ceasefire on certain parts of the front line to facilitate the collection of the bodies. Then on sports, we're talking Russia today as over 18 players and officials of the Super Eagles have arrived in Moscow in batches for the international friendly between Nigeria and Russia. Players who have arrived Russia include Captain William Troost-Ekong, Moses Simon, Shemi Ajayi, Fishayo Dele Bashiru, Tolu Arokodare, Victor Boniface, amongst others. Meanwhile, PAOK Saloniki of Greece defender Bruno Yemachi, a new invitee Olusegun Olakunle of Russian club Krasnodar FC, will arrive later this morning. The squad had been hit by withdrawals after Ola Aina, Wilfred Ndidi and Sadiq Omar pulled out due to injury. Samuel Chukwueze and Kelechi Iheanacho also excused themselves to attend to family, while Nita Tella was excluded due to passport issues. Training sessions will begin on Tuesday, later today, ahead of a game which will take place at the 78,000 capacity Luzhniki Stadium on the 6th of June. Now, Bitumen FC have emerged champions of the Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa football competition after a nail-biting 6-5 victory on penalties over First Class FC. In the third-place match, Alumagidi FC delivered an impressive performance to defeat Icon FC 3-0, securing a podium finish in the grassroots tournament that has captivated football fans across the state. The competition is aimed at nurturing grassroots football talent and supporting the state's broader youth engagement strategy.
The agenda of the Renewed Hope initiative, which is more of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's game plan. And my people are full of talent. These are raw talents. You'll be seeing what is happening. You'll be seeing the skills that they are displaying. They only need platform. You can see their skills. Look at the energy. Look at the soul. Yeah, they're playing. No water, nothing. This is raw talent. They should continue to show this discipline. They should continue to show this enthusiasm. And they should continue to show these skills. They shouldn't relent.
Competitions like this will bring the young people from the grassroots so that we can have a team of our own in those things.
I am satisfied, fully satisfied. I sat down with my FA chairman, the NFL board member. In our presence here, we have dictated, we have discovered 4 good players that can feature in anything. The last edition was the one we dictated some of our players here now. 2 in Slovenia, 1 in Remo, other in Aqua. We dictated them last year.
Now still on the coaching carousel in Italy, Maurizio Sarri has rejoined Lazio as head coach 15 months after leaving the role. The 66-year-old replaces Marco Baroni, who led the Serie A side to a 7th-place finish last season to miss out on an European qualification. Sarri resigned in March 2024 following the 5th defeat in 6 games and was also heavily critical of the club's transfer policy. The former Chelsea boss spent 3 years previously in charge of Lazio, and President Claudio Lotito said in a statement, Maurizio Sarri has returned home. And so, like I mentioned, a coaching carousel in Italy as Massimiliano Allegri has also signed for AC Milan. Simone Inzaghi might leave Inter Milan, and it just goes on and on. But the most reassuring news will be for Napoli fans as Antonio Conte is set to sign and stay back at the club. Now that's it on sports for this morning, and also the news. We'll take a time out and stay with us. There's more to come on the show.
To all our Muslim brothers and sisters embarking on the sacred journey of Hajj, we celebrate you. May your pilgrimage be safe, your prayers accepted, and your hearts be filled with peace. And may this sacred experience strengthen your faith and inspire compassion, humility, and hope. Hajj Mabrur, may you return renewed and blessed.
I'm Miriam Lunge. I'm a passionate environment advocate and a published author.
I am the founder of Celebration, a businesswoman, and a fashion icon.
I am a wealth coach and a real estate developer.
I am Amako Arakwe. I'm a corporate commercial lawyer and an entrepreneur.
Barkamu da warhaka. I am Ramatu Shehu Oyibo, an entrepreneur and a business coach.
I am the voice of an average Muslim woman, an hijabite, and a lawyer.
I am a polymath and a serial entrepreneur.
I am Murayo Afolabi Brown, Managing Director, TVC Entertainment. I'm a media consultant, producer, and broadcaster.
The ladies of Your View are made of women from different professions, tribes, cultures, and religion. Join us every Monday to Friday as we share our views on topical and social issues.
Hey. Super excited to be here this morning. You are welcome to the Wake Up Nigeria Kitchen, people. And of course, making his debut on the show this morning is Chef Steven.
Thank you so much for having me.
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm excellent.
Oh, he's good. He's excellent. When you see professional chefs in their elements, it is in how they look. It's in how they dress. All the leather gear. You can see where you can put all the cutleries, all the knives, all the utensils, all the kitchen tools that he needs to work his magic. This morning, Chef Steven will be making strawberry crepes. Someone right now is asking, what are crepes? Steven, what are crepes?
Oh, crepes are usually thin, delicate form of pancakes.
Yeah.
They are basically in the same family of pancake, but just the difference between crepes and pancake is thicker, then crepes is very thin and very delicate.
And very light.
Very light.
Yeah, it's very light in texture, in weight, and in the look as well.
Exactly.
So let's talk about the preparation for this.
Okay.
Let's talk about the ingredients first.
Okay. Right here I have butter. I'm basically going to melt this before using it.
Okay.
So here I have flour. Right here I have condensed milk. And here I have strawberry, as you can see. And I have red food coloring and strawberry flavor.
Okay.
Then this is egg, and then this is sugar, and this is powdered milk, and this is powdered whipped cream. Powdered whipped cream.
Okay.
And I'm sure you must be wondering what I'm going to be using this water for.
Okay.
It's for the whipped cream.
To wake it up.
Yes, it has to be very cold.
Very cold.
Yes, so this is cold for the whipped cream. Yes, to whip it up.
And then we have butter over there.
Yeah, this is butter.
Okay. Very easy. Same ingredients that we use for pancakes. Like I said earlier on, it's more. It's just a lighter form of your pancakes. So you know when you make your pancakes, they're thicker, but this a very thin.
Very thin.
Like really
thin. Yes.
Right, and there can also be sort of a more healthier option, I would say, especially because you know, you're not using so much of the flour.
Exactly.
You know, and you know, a lot of the ingredients you're using are in very little.
Very little and mild.
Very mild. You're not using so much of it. Okay, so let's begin. Where do we begin mixing? How do we begin to make our batter?
First of all, we'll get a clean bowl.
Okay.
Then the first is adding our flour today.
Okay.
Okay.
And now for the whipped, I would like to see how you're going to make the whipped cream, because I mean I've never used whipped powder before.
Oh, it's actually very easy.
Okay. I didn't even know that there was anything as whipped powder. I didn't know that existed.
Oh, it does.
Okay, so now we're adding sugar.
That's sugar.
That's a lot of sugar though.
Yeah, and the powdered milk. Everything can just go in once.
Okay, so can you also use liquid milk as well?
Yes, you can actually use liquid milk.
Like evaporated milk?
Yes. Okay. Then I have to add a little bit of this.
Okay, so we're also using cold water for our batter?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll be needing a lot of cold water then?
Yeah, we'll be needing.
Okay.
So the cold water is just to give it that crispy edge.
Oh, okay.
The crispy edge.
Okay.
So that's just about that. So I think I'll get more water.
More water, okay. Yeah. Shortly before now, we saw the ingredients being displayed on the screen. If you missed out on them, they'll come on later on. But for our ingredients, we have our flour, which has already been mixed with water, very cold water, milk and sugar right there in the bowl. Chef Steven is already making it into a batter. As we can see, it's going to be very light and fluffy and airy as well. Yes. And our strawberries, now talk to us, what are we doing with the strawberries?
Okay, the strawberry is actually for the filling.
Okay.
I'm going to use it for the filling with whipped cream. That's the whipped cream. It's just basically for the filling and garnishing.
Okay.
So
now, I'm trying to imagine when you say the filling.
Okay.
Are we mashing the strawberries, or are we just using them as they are?
No, I'm going to cut them in smaller bits.
Okay.
Yes.
And then wrap them up like a shawarma wrap.
How did you get that? Are you a chef?
I cook.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I pride myself in cooking well. Yeah, I'm very imaginative as well when it comes to food. I have quite an adventurous palate, so when it comes to food, I'm very adventurous. I like to, you know, just have fun when cooking. So I just imagined that, you know, we would be having a strawberry whipped strawberry filled pancake. Oh, sorry, crepes. Yeah, we're having crepes this morning, guys, instead of pancakes. And it looks like it's going to come together very nicely.
Okay.
And I can't wait to. What do you need help with?
Okay, I want to
put that on.
Yes,
okay, let's see if it's on first.
Okay.
Is it on? I'll have to see.
Take it up.
Is it on now?
Okay.
Okay, let's see.
Okay, let me just make use of this one.
Okay, so. Okay, now it's on. We'll try to put this on so that we could begin to use it. Right. Aha. Now I'm just going to increase. There you go.
Oh, thank you
right.
so
So
much.
it's ready for use.
Okay.
Okay. Now, when it comes to crepes, there's so much fun you can have with it. You can use chocolate in it. You can just spread your chocolates on it, right?
Yes.
Yeah. You could also have your beef patties in them. Like you could chop them up and fry them up and then have it as well. You could also use. Oh, I remember there was a time I had crepes and I had it with beef fillings.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was very tasty, very, very nice as well.
Okay.
You can also use chicken with it. There's so much you could do
so
with
much,
your crepes.
yeah, you're very right.
So much you could do with your crepes. So much you can do with them. I mean, and then, you know, it's just, I think it's a bougie version of pancakes.
And it's actually very versatile.
Yeah.
Unlike pancakes.
Or like pancakes. Pancakes, all you just need is your syrup, your strawberries if you like, your whipped cream.
If you want.
If you want. Right.
Well, I prefer my pancake with maple syrup.
Oh really? Oh, I do everything.
It tastes better.
Oh, I do a lot. I use everything. I'll use maple syrup. I'll use whipped cream. I would use sausages, eggs. I go the whole 9 yards.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm very, very
extra.
Yeah, extra, right? I'm extra, and I like to be extra on my food as well. Okay, so while we're whipping things up right here in the kitchen with our crepes, we have to head over for our first musical performance on the show today, and we have Edgar standing by for that. Okay.
All right. I enjoy my time in the kitchen every single time. I love, you know, whenever we get to see what's happening in the kitchen and we get to cook. But also, I enjoy great music. You guys know how much I enjoy great music, right? Yes, now for a musical performance, we have a woman who is a powerhouse gospel artist, worship leader, and a creative storyteller whose voice carries both spirit and strength. We are happy to have you here in the studio with us.
Thank you. Good morning, Lagos, Nigeria. Good morning, everyone.
Yeah, I really love the smile.
You do?
Yes, it's a very bright smile and good for a Tuesday morning.
Thank you. How
are
you doing?
I'm not bad myself, not doing badly. I mean, this is the kind of smile that will take you out of trouble.
Come on now.
All right, now it's interesting that you do great music and you also do gospel music.
Yes.
But why gospel though?
Okay, so why gospel? So music is music.
Okay.
What makes it gospel is the message that you're communicating. So it's not a genre.
All right, cool.
It is the message that makes it different from other types of song.
All right.
And so this is my faith. I believe in Jesus Christ.
All right.
I love Jesus.
Okay.
And I love good music.
All right.
And so communicating that message through this medium is something I really love.
It's beautiful that this year we've had a couple of gospel songs that are just trending over time, way more than other songs as well.
Very true.
You know, what is the future with gospel music?
Well, I would say the future it's very bright, it's very hopeful.
Yeah.
Especially in the seasons we're in right now. So many things are not going the way they should, and so the gospel is Jesus, and Jesus is hope.
Awesome.
And so it's very bright.
All right. So what song would you be performing today?
Okay, so I was telling my people to guess the song I'll be doing this morning.
All right, tell us. It's time. It's
so
time for the
I think
reveal.
we should do the song I Believe.
I Believe.
Yes, it's a song of hope. More so we're not in the 6th month.
Yeah.
And people are wondering, will my dreams come to pass? I'm here to tell you that it will surely come to pass. Just
Awesome.
believe.
I believe. I believe that you will have an amazing performance
Let's
as well.
go.
Now, speaking of I believe
Yeah.
and having great dreams, what is the biggest dream for you this year? The biggest dream for you
The
this year?
biggest dream for me this year is to have more impact with everything that's on my inside. When
All
you
right.
come across to me, I want to leave something inside of you.
I definitely believe that you will do that. All right.
Thank
Give us
you.
some music to believe, because I believe you will do so
All
good.
right.
All right, let's
Thank
go.
you.
I believe. Let's go.
Come on, everybody. Get your dancing shoes on. Yeah. Woo. Have you heard what the Lord has said? Sound the alarm in the temple. The Lord's about to do a marvelous thing in your life, in my life. Does He? Everybody say, woo. Hey. The Lord's about to do a marvelous thing in your life, in my life. This year, I will sing, I will dance, I will do great things. Sing and dance, do great things. Yeah, He has said it and I believe it. God has said it and I believe it. Everybody do it, dance now. Everybody raise your hands out. Everybody do it, dance now. Hey, hey, everybody. Woo! This month is gonna be great for you. Just believe it. Hey, hey, have you heard what the Lord has said? Yeah. Sound the alarm. The Lord's about to do a marvelous thing in your life, in my life. This month, have you heard what the Lord has said? The Lord's about to do a marvelous thing in your life. Just believe, you will sing, dance, you'll do great things. You will sing, dance, do great things. Just because He has said it, I believe it, and I believe. Everybody do a dance now. Everybody raise your hands out. Everybody do a dance now. Hey, hey, everybody, you're watching from your home. Just believe it. Woo! I will sing. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Are you ready? Come on, hey. He said it. Come on now. I believe it. Yes, your dream will come to pass. I believe it. It's time to laugh. I will laugh. Come on now. You will laugh, no more sorrows. You will laugh on the street, in your job, in the bathroom. Come on, laugh and rejoice. Hey, He has said it. God has said it. Yeah. I believe it. I believe it. Now this is the part where you need to dance. Woo. Now put on your dancing shoes. The days of sorrows are over. Hey, hey, yeah, 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 yeah. For the Lord has said it, and I believe it. Hey, hey, woo. Ijo, ijo, ni mo fia mo bi oba mo re. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Woo. I believe it. That God's word is yea and amen. Every word God has said is coming to pass. So no more sorrows. He has said it. He has said it.
Do you think you can outplay me in this game of wits and knowledge? Can you go 7 rounds without flinching? I meant answering 7 questions correctly. How well can you hold your liquor? If you're curious, then join us for the most exciting conversation and games with your favorite celebrities on 7 of 7.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw ether material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
Kolishashla Mandela was born into the Madiba clan on the 18th of July 1918. He got involved in politics in 1942 as he helped to form ANC Youth League. He was married to Evelyn Mays and they had 4 children. Mandela was arrested in a countrywide police swoop on 5th December 1956, which led to the 1956 treason trial. Before the end of the treason trial, he wrote to Prime Minister for vote to include a national convention on a non-racial constitution, and failure to adhere would result to a national strike. In August, he was arrested and charged for leaving the country without a permit and inciting workers to strike. He was convicted and sentenced to 5 years imprisonment. On 9th of October 1963, he was on trial with 10 others for sabotage in what became known as the Revolver trial. On the 11th of June 1964, Mandela and 7 other accused were convicted. Life imprisonment.
And we're back. Thanks for staying with us on What's Up and About this morning. There's been quite an interesting story that spoke to our interest, and everyone is talking about it, and this has to do with the recently written West African Examination Council exam that was written at night due to, according to the spokesperson for the WAEC, Dagout. Sorry, I'm trying to get his name. Amos Dagout. He is the head of the national office. He said that the reason for, why the exams were written in such a, would I say, in such an in such a state was due to logistical challenges, and I mean this has sparked a nationwide outrage and everyone is talking about it. I know that Mike has more details.
No, well, yeah, we mentioned it earlier, of course, in the news bulletin.
Read it in the news
I don't know. I
bulletin,
don't think it's a case of outrage. It's a case of is it selective amnesia?
Selective amnesia.
Is it cognitive dissonance? You know, I'm trying to look for the best phrase I can to put this together, because it is not be today. Right from, I don't know whether I still WASC. I mean, I wrote WASC. I think the year I wrote WASC was the first time, the time it was changed to WASC. I mean, there was WASC before, and then went back. For every time, the worst is GC. There's always been night exams. In fact, this time around, you have phones. That time, there was no phones. So it would be candle or something. You know, now they're using phones, and you know, now even the phones, you can access information safe. You can do everything you want to do on the phone. And I'm wondering how it is pitch black. So, but it's not new. Every single time. In fact, one of my DOPs here just mentioned to me that his daughter wrote in the cartoon, and she finished by 8:30 p.m. You understand? Others even stayed later. So, like I said, during my time, there's always been there. Now, my point is I'm not saying that because there's always been there, of course, there shouldn't be some sort of outrage. But my point is, you've always known. Now, a lot of things are now visible because there is social media. So people can easily, phones were going on live there, and then as the exam was going on, the images were being uploaded on X. And we could see it live as happening. If it was not for social media, we wouldn't see that. You probably would not hear about it. So my point is that this is not new, because during the news bulletin, one of the members of the panel was talking about how, okay, of course, WAEC is across West Africa. So there are other countries that are taking WAEC, Ghana and all the rest, and that, Nigeria is the only country that had this issue, and it's a shame. It has been going on. If you know, you have to accept, you are all, the WAEC, you are all parts of what has been going wrong with that. It is not something new. It is not the first time you're coming in contact with it. And so we should not deal and talk as if it's something strange.
Well,
we should solve the institutional issues that have been causing this thing. If not, it is a case, like I had mentioned, more of cognitive dissonance as it is happening on that.
Yeah, Mike, so to further buttress what you said, according to WAEC, right, even when the Amos Dagood stood before the House of Rep yesterday, he said that the reason for the delay to write the exams was because, 4 days to the exam, there was a leakage. The English exam paper was leaked out, right? And then, right now they said they're ongoing investigations, and we are hoping that, in the next couple of days, there would be some, results to that investigation. Also, in the course of the panel, he also stated that, because he was asked, now that this exam has been written, is it said to be credible? Well, he said, basically substandard. He wouldn't say that it's been credible. Now, the question is, moving forward, will it be, other than the issue that has already been raised, because there are a lot of, like Mike said, there's a lot of institutional dissonance that needs to be, addressed. There's a leakage, which of course now they are saying that there's possibility that it was leaked by the exam coordinators themselves. Now there's also the issue of credibility of these exams. So there's a lot of things to be addressed, and I'm hoping that in the next couple of days, all of these issues will be addressed. But then again, let me also talk about the fact that, like Mike said, over the years, this has gone on for, through time over time, generations to generations. Are we going to, how long do we continue to allow this happen? Are children going to continue to write exams under this kind of circumstances? It is really sad. And that's because even as Nigerians, we are, because of our resilience, we allow a lot of things just go. We can do it. We go dagboam. Our children are writing exams under, very awful circumstances. We go dagboam, and they can do it. After all, we did it, so you can do it. And then our children's children too would also do it. So when does this stop?
What hurts me the most with this whole story is that at the end of the day, the whole thing now falls back to the students. It happened with JAM now.
Yeah.
Where someone's someone who was meant to be in charge of making sure that everything goes properly, after the exams have been written, comes out to say, oh, there was a glitch, there was an error, and then students have to rewrite the exams again. Now, you have the president who is now saying, oh, it's not credible. To me, it's just appalling that we're in this situation where people would put their lives together for 6 years, try their best to make sure that study hard, and then there is an examination that says, okay, we are the #1 examination to enter the university, and you can't just get that right. If the education system isn't right, then trust me, what is right in the country?
Exactly.
What is right? And guess what happens? Something funny will come on social media in another 4 or 5 days. Everybody will forget about this.
Right.
And then we just move on like it never happened. Till something like this happens again.
Right.
Till something like this happens again.
It's not the first time even people...
Look at the pictures that they just shared right now. You have students who are... see, let's not even talk about those that will even get home safe. Because that's another issue there.
Security.
The security of the students are not even talked about.
Right.
Because now they're with phones, and you can understand that pressure.
Yeah.
Because again, you're not telling them to write for the whole day. You're still going to give them like another 2-3 hours to write. They would still write for 2-3 hours under that pressure. They don't know what they are writing, and then you still come out with the grades and say, we're sorry, there was a glitch in the system.
So this
40%
right. This is German. How can you set an exam for 6 o'clock? What time do you want them to leave the house?
No, they said 9 a.m.
No,
now the annoying story is that
the
annoying story with the annoying part of this story is that they now said, okay, logistics.
Logistical challenges.
So let me explain what that means. Yes. So you're basically saying, okay, so you realize there was a glitch, or there was a leak. You had to set new questions, right? Cool. So you had new questions, and for some reason, while you were setting new questions, you didn't come together to say, how do we deliver this
exam
on time?
Questions, yeah.
So guess what? Something that was meant to happen way earlier is now started around 8 p.m., 9 p.m.
You know, it's funny because from 9 a.m.
And then you still hurry the students up. You still hurry them up. Quickly.
Yeah, because it's going to be rushed.
There's quite a lot about all of this that we can say, but hey, let us know on social media what your thoughts are. We'll take a time out now. We'll be back after this.
Good morning, Marina Station and all the passengers. Efficient, it's comfortable.
This development will go a long way in reducing congestion and emission.
The trains are long-term solution to Lagos traffic challenges.
This is where we take the final, decisions on policies, programs of government. I will have to ensure that, the narration of Lagos as a PLC is taken very, very seriously.
This is a major pedestrian bridge linking Oyinbo here to Apapa Road over there.
With this overpass, we are providing what we call a permanent solution.
This place is one of the most dangerous areas at the biosecurity environment.
This can go into the news and every crumbs of your neighborhood.
Our goal is to remain as Africa's model megacity, to move our GDP from the 5-6 position to the 3rd position, and we believe is achievable with all the commitments we have.
Explore the city of Lagos, where dreams are made and possibilities are endless. Amadedoja Salamadini. I live in Lagos, inside Lagos.
The time has come to experience the power of faith, music, and praise. This is the Max Urban Gospel Chart Show. Every Sunday from 10 a.m. tune in to catch the pulse-pounding beats and soul-stirring melody that will elevate your faith and leave a lasting impact on your heart. The Max Urban Gospel Chart Show. Every Sunday from 10 a.m. exclusively on Max FM, where we count down the best 20 urban gospel hits from around the world. Get your praise on. You're my provider. You're my provider.
right, now it is time for our relationship conversation. Now, we are joined in here by a communication interesting young man, I like to say that. His name is Andre Ogbawili. Now, he is a certified marriage and family counselor with over 3 years, 3 amazing years in practice in providing effective and tailored counseling services to individual couples and organizations with God at the core. It's beautiful that you have God at the core. We're happy to have you on the show. How you doing?
Thank you for having me. I'm good.
Nice. So we're talking about love, communication. I'm sure there are a couple of effective tools or skills that one needs to be able to have an effective communication among partners. What would you say those skills are?
Well, basically, you see, communication is a two-way street.
Okay.
Like we're having now. Mm-hmm. But there's also what you call comprehension at the end of the day. So if I communicate to you in a wrong manner, you don't understand, or you will react to it. Like active listening, right? You see, most people do not actually come to the table to listen to you.
Okay.
They have a mindset already. So when you are speaking, they are just waiting for it to be done so they can respond to you.
Yeah, so you say, I am hearing you, but I'm not listening.
I am not listening. Exactly. And you see, how you come to communicate with people is a very important factor. I'll give you an instance, right? If I come at you in an aggressive manner, right? And there's one of the functions of the human brain, which is to guard you, the body, right? So if I say certain words, put up a defense.
Exactly.
Instantly. If there's a situation and I come at you like, you did this to me and I do not like it, they're going to put up a defense, right? Because automatically the brain senses an argument, an attack at it. So it puts up a defense.
Yeah.
But if I come at you and I say, I felt a certain type of way when you did this, you're more prone to listen to me.
All right, but let me ask you this, yes? Some people actually see that as gaslighting. The moment you say, I feel this is how you made me feel, they feel like, oh, for some reason you're about to gaslight them. With a family, how do you correct that notion with your partner to make your partner feel like this is not gaslighting, but this is actually how I feel?
Remember, I said earlier that communication-wise, you need to come to the table.
Okay.
To actually listen to me. Gaslighting. You feel I'm gaslighting you because you already have an opinion.
True.
When I tell you let's have a conversation about a situation, you've already put up a wall.
Yeah.
So you're not ready to listen. So it comes off as gaslighting, but it's actually not. Hence why we say active listening. You need to listen. Be open-minded about a situation, right? And how you portray that situation. Hence why the I factor. Okay. And then when there's a situation, to resolve it, it's a we thing. It's not an individual thing. Did you get me? Whatever situation that occurs, both parties contributed to that specific situation. Right. Yes, one might have more of the blame, as you might say it, but to solve it, it can't be an individual. It has to be a we thing. Now, when it's a we thing, you will be more prone to listen to me speak and solve that, so we're in it together.
All right, so now based on your experience, when is the best time to bring up a situation? Immediately you feel the pain, or would you allow it calm, think about it for some time? When is the best time to bring or talk about something?
The truth is, if we're to analyze it, there's really never a best time.
Okay.
Right? But it should be dealt with. Now, if you know that at this point in time, if you have this conversation, you are going to overreact, right? Then don't. Take a breather. But it must be done within 24 hours. Never go to bed with an argument between two people. It needs to be solved.
Never go to bed?
Yes. Never go to bed angry at your spouse.
Wow.
Yes, you can't.
What happens when you go to bed angry at your spouse?
Because it lingers. When you wake up the next morning, you are going to react based on what happened. Now, there's a saying that if you're prepared for a situation, you act on that situation when it occurs. But if you're not, you are bound to react to that situation. And when you react, it comes out wrong.
So there is this popular saying, I don't know if you've ever heard this before, but this is something most people always say. You focus on the problem and not the person. Focus on the problem and not the person. What if the person is the problem? I'll give you a good example. I'll give you a good example because I knew you're going to like stop me there.
Yeah.
Now, imagine this, where your partner complains that, or whenever she gets to speak to her partner or the guy, he's fond of hitting her. Okay. He's fond of throwing fingers, and that is how he calms down. Now, I've heard cases where people would say, if my partner doesn't beat me, I know he hasn't truly forgiven me. I don't know if you've ever had that before. They'll say, oh, if he doesn't hit me, then he has not really, until he touches me, then I'm sure that, oh, I am good. I don't know if have you ever heard that before?
You know that's abuse.
Yes, no, it is abuse, but I'm saying, how do you deal with something like that where the person is the problem?
Actually, the person is never the problem.
Okay.
See, the problem remains the problem. Let's be sincere. He hits you, right? Which means that person has an existing trauma they have not dealt with.
Okay.
But I would not advise anybody to go into an abusive relationship or marriage. It's a red flag.
Yeah.
You get me? But if you do find yourself in that situation, right? I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, okay, that's, he needs to get help.
Okay.
Because he's dealing with trauma that is unresolved. At the point that trauma is dealt with, he becomes okay. Hence why the problem is the problem. The individual is not the problem. As a human being, when you're born, you're an empty vessel. So situations occur over time that fill up a bottle. If you take an empty bottle, it's an empty bottle until you put water into it. If you put dirty water into the bottle, you will have dirty water.
Absolutely.
You can take the bottle and toss the water out.
Right.
And fill it with clean water. So it's just trauma that needs to be dealt with.
All right, so let's talk about the statement forgive and forget.
Yes.
Oftentimes you hear people say, I've forgiven you but haven't forgotten. Now, my mom always tell me when you really forgive someone, you actually forget as well. But what is you're an experienced person here. You've been doing this for a while.
Yeah.
So I just want to ask you, what is the right thing to do? Do we actually forget, or do we, when we forgive people, do we watch from a distance and still have these things in mind as well? What helps in a relationship?
You see, when you say forgiveness, if we go by the biblical term of forgiveness,
all right, okay,
it encompasses the whole process. If I forgive you, I can never hold that against you. I cannot act based on what I claim I have forgiven. So in the true sense of it, to move past the situation, when you forgive, you actually learn to forget. It's a process. It takes time. That's why you see I said learn. You need to learn how to actually let go in totality. If you do not, you would constantly act based on that situation.
All right.
And that's what you call PTSD.
True. All right, now I have another interesting question. How do you handle a partner that speaks with subtext? I'll give you a good example.
Yeah.
You have people that, for example, you're with your partner, you go back from work, she's not saying anything to you, she's just looking at you, and then, suddenly you're like, oh, babe, or my dear, are you okay? Are you fine? And she says, I'm fine, I'm okay. You can see that her face is saying otherwise, but her words are saying something totally different. Now, you said, are you sure you're fine? Are you sure you're okay? So, yes, I'm fine, I'm okay. Are you sure? I'm fine, I'm okay. Only for you to probably have a conversation the next day and the lady tells you, oh, yesterday when you didn't really care about me, you don't really care about my feelings, you don't care about this and that. How do you deal with a situation where someone speaks in subtext or the person doesn't even want to talk in the first place?
You see, that's what you call non-verbal communication, right? Yes, you need to look out for these things. It happens. Don't forget, you're first a human being, regardless of whatever.
Yeah.
Now, in such situations, the other partner needs to be calm.
Okay. When you mean the other partner, this is the person asking the question?
Yes.
Okay.
You need to be calm. You need to be patient, right? But then
I think you guys are learning one or two things here. Be calm, patient. Yeah, go ahead.
But then again, you see, when entering a relationship or a marriage, there are few things you guys need to talk about. Situations like this needs to be discussed. You get me? If we have a situation, how do we deal with it? What's the timeline we need to have this conversation? It might be at the point you were asking her. She knows she will transfer the aggression to you. Because of that, that's why I said you need to be calm about it. And then when she's open to talk, but again, there has to be a period of time this conversation needs to be had. And then, see, most people do not empathize, you know, and that's one of the things in communication. Empathy is very, very key. Being able to understand how you felt at that particular moment. Once I understand that, I would give you a breather. Knowing that, okay, she felt this way, hence why this whole action and reaction going on. And then when she's ready to talk, listen to her. Don't be on your phone. Don't have the TV up. No. Sit together. If it's your bedroom, sit down and just talk about it. And she would open up. She'll tell you everything. And then don't judge.
We listen, we don't judge.
You don't judge. Never.
All right. Thank you very much. That is all that we can take this time. We're super excited. I am sure that I'll probably have more questions after the show. So that I can help my own personal relationship, because even me, I'm looking for someone to, to date and get married to, that I can, get it right from the very beginning.
Oh, we're here to help you.
I like that. All right. The show continues. Please do not go anywhere, guys. It's still Wake Up Nigeria. We have a lot in store for you guys. The show continues. We'll be right back.
Introducing the new Jig Sachet. Whitening your whites has never been more affordable. Now you can keep whites shining brighter and disinfect by killing 99.9% of germs on your floors and other surfaces. Just jig it with Jig Sachet.
We don't like to eat better, more nutritious meals, more veggies, but we want it tasty and easy too. Knorr Cubes, that's the secret. Made with real ingredients like chicken, parsley, and garlic. And enriched with iron, so your meals are better for you and more delicious too. That's the cocoa. Let's give it some accolades. Change your world by changing what's on your plate.
On today's episode, we discuss and weigh in on your favorite or not so favorite species of men, the Yoruba demons.
Yoruba demons are literally heartbreakers. People who won't tell you where this is going.
They're the ones that know that they're gonna break your heart, but it's the ones that actually manipulate you.
Yoruba demons are sweet angels that were born onto this earth, but were wronged by the society, their parents, other women, Yoruba women especially, and have now become bad.
What are their characteristics and their commonly used catchphrase?
He knows the right things to say. He knows how to treat you right at the beginning, because it's not going to last.
There's no real, catchphrase, Jerry. It depends on how they want to run the package. If the package na church girl, they got to run a church way.
Why are you guys, you ladies, always attracted to the Yoruba demons?
Who wouldn't want to be involved with someone who dresses well, wears native for a living, wears hats, covers his head, wears palm slippers, has nice feet, talks smoothly, like he's a smooth talker, probably tall like some, Michael Jordan-ish? That's what they like.
So why you fall victim to guy with dress nice, we look nice?
That's what I'm saying. Ladies just like
so
to
why do you now blame the guys for this?
I'm not blaming them. I'm just defining it.
Okay.
But even at that, it doesn't still mean that boys are demons, sha. You will not stay one place. Pick one person, stay one place. You go and knock outside, come and give your wife infection in the house. You people should stay one place.
They use protection.
Who told you they use
protection outside and inside maybe not. I don't know, I'm just saying.
It's Battle of the Sexes, guys.
All right. Welcome back, Nigeria. You're still watching Wake Up Nigeria. And if you're just joining us, I mean, we'll be here since 7 a.m.
Definitely.
Wow.
We've got 45 minutes more to go. It's been 1 hour. We've had a relationship discussion.
Yes.
What just give us the
about
synopsis.
communication, effective communication.
Effective
basically,
communication
among partners as well.
Wow. Okay. Definitely. We've also had a look at the preps that is going on in the kitchen. We've spoken about WAEC jam. There's quite a lot in the first hour. The first hour. Yeah. 45 more minutes. Just chill, sit back, relax. It's going to be a wonderful ride. My name is Mike Mesikeno.
And my name is Edgar Erika. Now remember that you can always join the conversation using the hashtag #WakeUpNigeria on TVC to tell us what you think about the show. Tell us what you're doing today. Tell us what you have planned for the week as well.
All right, options where you can catch us, tvcentertainment.tv/live stream. That's our website. You can also do it via app, GOTV channel 16. You can do it by StarTimes 121, and of course, ultra high frequency. The band will be 49 for the terrestrial band to check out and watch the show. Yeah, so we have a second lap to go. Yeah, we have some wonderful guests.
We have great.
Okay, yeah, Atewa Laolu Oguni, popularly known as Skooki Pichon, a relationship coach and former Afrobeats musician. I would ask about that.
We'll find out.
Can you really be former? Is that possible? Music, just like visuals, they live through time, and, so we'll talk about that. But he'll be here to have a chat, of course.
All right, now for our final guest, we also have Ric Hassani. Ric Hassani is with us. He is, of course, you guys know who Ric Hassani is now, a Nigerian singer, songwriter who blends soul, pop, and African music. He's, widely known for his polished style and gentleman persona. We cannot wait to have Ric Hassani join us here in the studio and just have a great conversation with the young man as well.
Looking forward to that one.
We can't wait. We cannot wait.
All right, that's the tale of a word, the size of a tape for the rest of the show. We'll be back after this time out. Good morning. The news on Wake Up Nigeria. My name is Mike Messikeno. The West African Examinations Council stated that logistic challenges and alleged compromise of one of its printer vendors were responsible for the late night conduct of English language examination in parts of the country. The committee has now given WAEC 24 hours, which of course has expired, to provide a detailed report of the circumstances surrounding the unfortunate incident. National Assembly correspondent Joke Adisa reports.
The exam material to Taraba.
At last, the head of WAEC appears before the House of Representatives Committee on Examination Bodies. Amos Dangote apologizes to the committee for his inability to honor earlier invitations as he pledges respect for the institution. To the business of the day, the committee seeks answers to why candidates wrote English language examination late into the night.
I did mention that you should be very open to this committee and by extension Nigeria. We are aware that the English language, the paper leak, our preliminary findings show that paper leak. You have to be open. Tell Nigeria what happened.
Mr. Dangote says the council's printer performs barely 50% of its capacity, forcing it to rely on two other printer vendors to meet up with its needs. He alleges that one of the printer vendors compromised and leaked the English language paper. WAEC also cites logistic challenges as part of the problem.
We were given what looks to be a compromised examination, and we swung into action knowing the implication of having a compromised examination.
Angry committee members fired questions at the head of WAEC as they accused the council of endangering the lives of the candidates.
You have more than one country, 2, 3, 4 countries, and it's only in Nigeria that they had to write the exams by 11 p.m. So other countries did very well in managing their logistics. In Nigeria, we failed.
At what point did you realize that the machine was working 50%, very close to the examination, or which year did you notice that?
You have exposed Nigeria to the level that people are laughing at us. Is it this a sabotage against the government? I am not part of APC government.
Are you going to affirm those examinations written in those conditions?
At the end of the interface, the Committee on Basic Education Examination Bodies handed down a 24-hour ultimatum to WAEC to submit a comprehensive report of the circumstances surrounding the controversial conduct of the 2025 English language examination. Joke Adisa, TVC News, Abuja.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has said he expects more prisoners of war to be exchanged with Russia following yesterday's round of peace talks in Istanbul. Speaking after a NATO meeting in Vilnius, he restates support for a new set of sanctions to pressure President Vladimir Putin into agreeing to a ceasefire. The head of the Ukrainian delegation confirms that Russia has now handed over a memorandum outlining its negotiation demands, saying a potential meeting between President Zelensky and Putin has also been discussed. Russia says they've agreed to return the remains of 6,000 soldiers and offered a 2 to 3 day ceasefire in certain parts of the front line to facilitate the collection of bodies. Now, at least 18 players and officials of the Super Eagles have now arrived in Moscow in batches for the international friendly between Nigeria and Russia. Players who have arrived include Captain William Trustekong, Moses Simon, Shemi Ajayi, Fishayo Dele Bashiru, Tolu Arokodare, Victor Boniface, amongst others. Meanwhile, PAOK Saloniki of Grace defender Bruno Yemechi and new invitee Olusegun Olakole of Russian club Krasnodar FC will arrive on Tuesday morning later today. The squad had been hit by withdrawals after Ola Aino, Wilfred Ndidi and Sadiq Umar pulled out due to injury. Samuel Chukwueze and Kelechi Iheanacho also excused themselves to attend to a family issue, while Nathan Tella was excluded due to passport issues. Training sessions will begin later today ahead of the game, which will take place at the 78,000 capacity Luzhniki Stadium on the 6th of June. All right, that's it on the news and, of course, sports for today. We'll take a recess. Stay with us. Still a bit more to come on the show.
Our major currency unit is the naira, while the minor unit is the kobo. They are both in notes and coins. The naira is more than just a medium of exchange. It bears the images of our heroes. So, stop abusing the naira. It is a criminal offense to spray the naira at events. Stop stepping on the naira. It's not your enemy. Do not squeeze, ruffle, or write on the naira. Handling the naira with dirty or oily hands can deface the naira. Love the naira as you love yourself. Be a real Nigerian.
This message was brought to you by the National Orientation Agency, NOA.
We don't like to eat better, more nutritious meals, more veggies, but we want it tasty and easy too. Knorr Cubes, that's the secret. Made with real ingredients like chicken, parsley, and garlic, and enriched with iron, so your meals are better for you and more delicious too. That's the cocoa. Let's give it some accolades. Change your world by changing what's on your plate.
Oh well, welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Atewala Oluoguni, popularly known as Skooki. Bishao. He is a relationship coach, and I would ask this question first. Some say former Afrobeats musician, some say retired Afrobeats musician, some say before, not be today. Well, he's been there, done that, and he has an online series, of course, called Relationship Codes, where he discusses life and relationship topics from a gender-neutral point of view. He also has an Amazon best-selling book titled Make Him Worship You. Whoa, I'm a worshiper. What kind of worship are we talking about here? And he currently holds a record for the highest downloaded relationship ebook in Nigeria. Number one relationship coach.
Yes,
you know, what came to my mind is the first question I want to ask is how do you pivot? How do you switch careers? Because you know, get to a point in your life where you think about it, what I've been doing, is this what I want to continually do? Or is it as relevant as this was before? And there's that thing, and you feel, at times you feel like it's too late.
Yeah.
That's where there's a battle and all of that.
Honestly. How do you
overcome that kind of...
Man, it was a tough period for me, you know, switching in between. But I think because my mom was a relationship coach, so this is what I've seen all my life, right? So I'm the last child, so I was always hanging around with her and everything. So I think it had always been there, but music also came, and I did music with my brother, but somewhere in the back of my mind, I was always going back to this. So I had a couple of friends who always encouraged me, like, these things you see, why don't you just take it online? But I couldn't marry the two together, like, from singing Pishan to now talking about, you know, I'm like, is the acceptance going to come, you know? And of course, you know, normally when you start something new, the people are like, what's this one doing? I don't understand. Music no sell again, you know, that kind of thing, they came hard for me. But I started saying it, and then my community started finding me. Some people are like, oh, I like what he said. I like his perspective. I like the way he's, you know, and then from there, and so there was a time I had to just be daring and just proceed. But I knew what I was saying was in depth. You know? It was in depth.
So somebody else out there who's having challenges, sometimes they don't even know what to do. And they feel like it's time for me to move on to something else. And they feel it's too late. Maybe they're 40, 50, and they feel like it's too late. What can you tell such a person? What do they need to do?
I think our mind plays tricks on us more than we realize.
Okay.
And our thinking mind can only work with what has already occurred. Okay. But your creative mind can bring in new things. You know, so don't necessarily pay attention to the facts. See, in creativity, right, you can ignore the facts because your desire, your push, your drive can create a whole new set of facts or rearrange things. Okay. So we've seen people go against the norm and then they create something magical. In short, anything magical is always going against the norm. You know? So I think
those kind of people, they need to, their first battle between them and them, you know, quiet down that noise and just do it. Because
Just do it.
it's only later when you now look back and be like, I should have done it, I should have done it.
Just do it. I like that. That's
Yeah.
a word that you can take away. Just do it. So
Yeah.
we're talking, does marriage really work? Or is marriage still worth it?
Is marriage still worth it?
Yeah, is marriage still worth it? And the question also that we're talking about here is looking at the male and the female, that what do they really want? That's talking about what do men and women really want. So in this day and age of wokeness, I think that's the thing here. There's that wokeness and all of that. I remember someone asked a question. I said, why would marriage to this person give an advantage in whatever? Like, is there anything that marriage will exclusively give me with this person that I cannot get?
Right?
And it was a very honest question.
Yeah,
You know, and I saw different answers and all
Yeah.
of that. But you're here, and that's a wonderful way to start. Let's just throw it to you.
So I think we are a unique generation. So by generation, I'm talking about the millennials and the Gen Zs, right? Who are the people in the marriageable age right now. I think we are very schooled. We've gone to school a lot, and we did not realize that there's more to life than what school is teaching us. You know, there's more to life than what school is teaching us. We're taught academic intelligence and all these things, but emotional intelligence we're not taught in school. And marriage is basically for the purpose of evolution, to continue, because if our ancestors didn't get it right, we won't be here. And I think the best way to raise a young human being is with mother and father, masculine and feminine energy in the same, in the same box, that's the family unit. And they now give the values you want to give to that child before they turn 18 and go into the world. But now, with our wokeness, we're disrupting the whole flow of things. And I don't know, I don't think it's going to land us in a very good place. We thought we had freedom of expression, just like when social media came. We thought, our generation were more expressive, but look at social media actually. People hide. Somebody can really be going through so much pain.
Oh, yes.
But because you are seeing them posting, you're like, this one is just enjoying life. But yes. Exactly. So we need to go back to the old way of doing things. Our over-sabi is not leading us in the right direction. So marriage, yes, is still very much worth it. I speak to a lot of 55-year-old, 60-year-old people, and I realize that life is a big party when you're 35, 40, now you hot. But when you're not getting to 50, what you want in life really starts to change, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's like when you are when you're a young human being at 8, 9 years old, the toys you want to play with is different from when you now turn to a teenager. True. You know, I remember when I was young, I used to want a bicycle when I was like 9 years old. Then when I turned to like 15, I wanted to start driving, and they were like, you're too young to drive, So life will always hand you different desires. And it's like, you have to prepare for the desire you have at 50 when you are 40. Because by the time you now get to 50, you now realize that, I want this, but then you should have done the work 10 years ago. So a lot of people, they think, no, I don't need this, or I don't want this, or I just want my peace, But then when you get to 55, you're like, I want a companion so bad. I want it so bad. Like, what's the meaning of life exactly? Because a lot of my friends are 50 and above. A lot of them are 50 and I see the ones who just didn't take care of that side. So we need to do a lot of emotional work and realize that, yes, it's not beans, because marriage is not designed for happiness. Marriage is not designed for happiness.
Well, you need to shout this thing out to a lot of people who are about entering or who are in the early stages.
Honestly, marriage is not, you don't go into marriage because you want to be happy. You go into marriage because you want to play your part in this whole human thing, multiply and fill the earth. Now, it doesn't mean you should not be happy or try to make it happy. But to just think that happiness is just going to land on your head inside it, no, because life will throw you lemons. Bitter lemons like never before, but you can't make lemonade out of it. So if you don't get into the act of learning how to make lemonade out of it and you complain about everything, then you're going like, this is not working.
From what you're saying now, companionship is something very strong, because in your later years, you'd want companionship that is committed to you.
Exactly.
Not just companionship benefits, surface level.
Yeah.
And that is what you might miss if you did not do it a little bit earlier than the 50s. Because I was thinking, okay, those 50s now, can those 50s come together and just do something?
So they do. I mean, there's even a program I was watching on TV once, and Later Lovers or something. They do come together, but it's a whole different world entirely. Besides, wouldn't you want to be 50 and have somebody that you've been through the ups and downs together and you mastered each other than two different people? It still works, so it's not like it's hopeless. Yeah. But it gets harder It's like trying to hustle.
You're right.
It's like trying to hustle. You know, I do this business. Make I do this business. When you're 20, you can still do. When you're 30, you can still do. But by the time you're 50, make I do this business. You start to now. You know, your options are now like shrinking. So
very true.
We have to do the work now.
Someone once said that, and the older we get, the harder it is to change.
That is
so
it.
You have two people who are steady, who are in their ways.
Experiences and traumas.
There's this, and this is of no fault of hers. It's this single mom I know. In fact, the kids are now grown. So I don't want to say single mom again because when the kids are grown, you're not momming anybody. She's now on her own and all that. But of course, it was a very unfortunate situation where she's now divorced. But now she finds it so hard to get somebody to the standard because of the trauma of what she went through.
Exactly.
In that kind of situation, you understand? There's that trauma, and so she says something. This thing was there in that person. So before the flag is still not even purely red. She says it's even pink. Anything that's close. You've already, because you saw this at the beginning with that person. What can people like that? She's 55 now, almost 60. What can people like that in that particular situation? What can they do?
I mean, she has to. People like that have to just try. The thing is, the work that we don't want to do emotionally, we'll still have to do it eventually. That's what I see when I speak to older people. So if you see a person, it could be a man, it could be a woman, right? Maybe they have an attitude that they should work on, but when they get into a relationship where they are demanded to change, they just turn it off and fly off to the next relationship. Eventually, if they really want to settle down and really be with somebody, then they need to work on that thing, you know? So at the end of the day, the arrow still points back to you, you know? So that kind of lady, she should just learn not to superimpose what she has experienced, but this is hard.
Because she's looking for perfection. But you said it, and you are not going to see that.
No, you're not.
Never.
You're not going to see perfection. No, you're not going to see
That's an absolute, you're not going to see it.
Sometimes people are just trying to change the other human being in unrealistic ways. I mean, if 30% of a person is compatible with you, I think you'll be a happy couple. Honestly. But sometimes people just want to change what doesn't even need to change. Sometimes people are trying to change some of their partner because society or their friends would want, you know? Yeah, so, but it's only when you get to later years you start to realize that, wait, what was all that drama about? So if people can realize that, and I think this is what older generations before us got, they kind of understood life quite early, you know? Fine, it made them get too serious. Maybe they missed out on some freedom of expression that we have, but you don't want to have too much of freedom of expression because from millennials to Gen Zs, we're like extending teenage years. People are 45 and are still acting like teenagers, you know? And yeah, the Times allow it, but the Times doesn't care about where you fall. The Times is just doing what it's doing, you know? Pop culture, everything is doing what it's doing. So at the end of the day, you have to look at yourself like, okay, let me arrange myself.
Yeah. Right. Apart from companionship, especially in later years, what do men and women individually, what do you think they want? For guys like us, apart companionship is, I think that's a given.
Yeah.
Is there any other thing that you think that you might want that would make someone want to say, let's get married or let's be married?
So let me start with women. So I think women want the opposite of what they've been telling us they want in the last 30 years. I think with feminism, they confused everybody. Feminism has wrecked the mentality of women and has completely confused men also. We think feminism affected women alone, but it actually also feminized men. Because men have been sold the idea that they were equal. When gender equality was what they were telling us they were preaching, but gender uniformity was what they were really pushing. Like, they were trying to convince us that we are the same. So you had a lot of grown women, 30, 35, thinking that they are the same with the guy they are romantically involved with. They don't understand why he's thinking the way he's thinking. How is he not going to think the way he's a man?
It's supposed to be complementary.
Exactly.
It's complementary. So that means you're different.
Exactly. Look at our reproductive organs, male, female. That's how you create life. That's how you create life. You know.
Exactly.
That's how you create life. Biology, basic biology. So women have been told that they are the same. That we are not equal. And I'm sad and I'm heartbroken when I see even some people come on and say, oh, equal. No, we're not equal. We're not equal does not mean I'm saying somebody is below somebody or anything. The conversation does not even need to go there at all if we're talking about creating a family unit. And think about it. Women don't want to be equal. Ask any woman, what do you want to be? Do you want a man that's shorter than you? They'll say no. Do you want a man that's taller than them? Do you want a man that's bigger than you? They'll say yes. Do you want a man that makes more money than you? They'll say yes. Do you want a man that leads and makes better decisions than you? They'll say yes. Where is the equality in what they want there? They don't want equality. They want a guy who is way above them, that they can look up to and they can feel protected and provided for. And then it inspires them to submit. What do a lot of women say? They say, oh, if he leads me right, I will submit easily. They don't want equality. But we sold them this idea. Then they sold the men too of that generation the idea that they're equal. So men are like, yo, why do I need to try and do so much work on myself and carry all this heavy burden when people are equal and men would they go like that? And so you see men confused and arguing with their woman. You see men arguing with their woman, deliberating on her, and she's an emotional hurricane. She's an emotional thunderstorm. If your man says 10 things, 9 of it, don't even disturb yourself on it. Yes, 9 of it is emotional. Tomorrow she'll tell you I never said that. I see this happen, and the men who get gray hair quick or get heart attack quickest are the ones who are trying to process or trying to logically explain everything to their woman. Like, let her just blow past. Pick out the one important thing that she says that you need to work on, that you need to, that, okay, this one, she makes sense here. Try and work that against your ego so your ego doesn't blind you and deal with it. But we've been confused. Men think the woman is thinking logically like him. So that's really what it is.
Skooki, I wish we had more time. While time is short, can you promise me that we'll come back and continue this?
We definitely should.
So that we'll have word from the men's side. We've heard from the women.
Of course.
So there will be a part 2. Skooki has given his word. He will be back. Thank you so much.
It's nice.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah,
all right.
amazing.
Okay, we'll take a time out now. Don't go anywhere. Stay with us. We will be right back after this.
To all our Muslim brothers and sisters embarking on the sacred journey of Hajj, we celebrate you. May your pilgrimage be safe, your prayers accepted, and your hearts be filled with peace. And may this sacred experience strengthen your faith and inspire compassion, humility, and hope. Hajj Mabrur, may you return renewed and blessed.
I'm Miriam Lunge. I'm a passionate environment advocate and a published author.
I am the founder of Celebration, a businesswoman, and a fashion icon.
I am a wealth coach and a real estate developer.
I am Amako Arakwe. I'm a corporate commercial lawyer and an entrepreneur.
Barkamu da warhaka. I am Ramatu Shehu Oyibo, an entrepreneur and a business coach.
I am the voice of an average Muslim woman, an hijabite, and a lawyer.
I am a polymath and a serial entrepreneur.
I am Murayo Afolabi Brown, Managing Director, TVC Entertainment. I'm a media consultant, producer, and broadcaster.
The ladies of Your View are made of women from different professions, tribes, cultures, and religion. Join us every Monday to Friday as we share our views on topical and social issues.
Martin Luther King Jr. was born in Atlanta, Georgia, January 15, 1929. The son of a Baptist minister, King received a doctorate degree in theology and in 1955 helped organize the first major protest of the African American civil rights movement, the successful Montgomery bus boycott. King participated in and led marches for the right to vote, desegregation, labor rights, and other civil rights. He advocated civil disobedience and nonviolent opposition against segregation in the South, influenced by Mahatma Gandhi, the peaceful protests he led throughout the American South were often met with violence. Nonetheless, Dr. King and his supporters were persistent and the movement gained momentum. Dr. King was a powerful orator. He appealed to Christian and American ideals and won growing support from the federal government and Northern White. In 1963, Bayard Rustin and A. Philip Randolph led the massive march on Washington for jobs and freedom. The event's grand finale was King's famous I Have a Dream speech. 250,000 people gathered outside the Lincoln Memorial to hear the stirring speech. In 1964, the Civil Rights Movement achieved two of its greatest successes: the ratification of the 24th Amendment, which abolished the poll tax, and the Civil Rights Act of 1964, which prohibited racial discrimination in employment and education and outlawed racial segregation in public facilities. In the same year, King became the youngest person to win the Nobel Peace Prize. In the late 1960s, King openly criticized U.S. involvement in Vietnam and turned his efforts to winning economic rights for poor Americans. He was a leader of the American Civil Rights Movement and organized a number of peaceful protests as head of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, including the March on Washington in 1963. He was assassinated in Memphis, Tennessee on April 4th, 1968.
Thanks for staying with us. We have with us on the couch Ikechukwu Eric Ahiezu. He's popularly known as Ric Hassani. He's a Nigerian singer, songwriter who blends soul, pop, and African music. He's widely known for his polished style in gentlemanly persona. He has also received several award nominations, including the Headies, All African Music Awards, and is noted for collaborations with Fowles, Olamide Chike, and so many more. He's also known as the king of Afro R&B. How you doing?
I'm good. That was very...
King of Afro R&B.
I'll take it, man. I mean, like, who else? You know what I mean?
Who else?
let's be honest.
How are you doing this morning?
I'm good. I'm very good.
How have you been? I mean, when was the last time we saw you? Maybe 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Yes. How's it been so far?
Oh, man, it's been fantastic. I can't even complain. It's been fantastic. Work as usual, you know. God is being faithful, yeah.
So we recently caught up on some of your stint on the... Congratulations, by the way. One of the judges of the Nigerian Idol.
Oh, yeah.
One of the judges of the Nigerian Idol.
Thank you.
And I think you did really well, working with your, the contestants. Talk to us about that, how that experience was for you.
It's, I don't think I've ever said this before. Nigerian Idol actually has helped my life, like just the way I look at life now, because one of the most important things that you can face in adulthood or even just existing is your relationship with other people, right? Sure. Like how you relate to other people. Sure. So Nigerian Idol has helped me to look at my life and audition myself and my space and my energy, and be like, oh, no, you're acting off key, or this thing you said was a little bit flat. You know what I mean? Like just the same way I would judge people and say you're not really singing that well, or I think you can change this and change that. So it has helped me to be more assertive in my own personal life. So it has changed my life in that way, and it's really helped me to, because I think, especially me being an empath. So an empath is someone who is more compassionate toward people. I always want people to be very fine and happy, sometimes at my own expense.
Oh, really?
Yes, now. Because I want them to be happy, but then...
I didn't picture you as an empath. So
really?
That's what I meant by, oh, really?
I write love songs, and I'm an empath. I feel people's emotions. So sometimes when you feel how they feel, you want to be there for them, forgetting that you have to be there for you. You know what I mean? So I used to fall into that trap a lot, and then I find myself feeling down and pleasing somebody else, But Nigerian Idol helped me to be able to look at them and say, see, I love you, but these things, no, you don't have sense. Stop that. Go to this other side. You really don't even have sense. That's the truth, So you're not in this competition of my life right now. go to the back and try again next year. You know, that's what I tell contestants when I see them, and I love them because I'm just meeting them, but they're just not up to par. Like their voice is not just ready yet. So I'm like, you know what, this show is happening again next year. So just go and come back. I love you, but this is what I think. You know. So
seeing things from that, capacity as a judge and having to meet with a lot of young, talented, creative Nigerians, where do you think the next generation of music is gearing towards, is heading to? Do you think it's going to get better? Do you think it's going to be just, well?
I think it's going to get better. Because a lot of these young guys and Gen Z, they are very serious. So, you know, I think the generation before me, and I mean like when it comes to like the Two Faces, the P Squares, the Style Plus, the OJB Just Real, Blessed Memory, like they were serious.
We've seen cases, you know, I wouldn't say a lot of, we've seen cases where a lot of musicians are not allowed to express their true, authentic selves in their music because the music has to sell, and it has to sell per season. What is moving this season? Let us jump on it to sell the music because brands, labels want to make money, right? And then it's not also helping the artists also express themselves and then even their creative selves, and then we see them fade off. You know, so what would you say in that regard?
I think the expressing yourself is difficult in any way, shape, or form. Even if it is true, even if you are working in Access Bank or if you're working a 9 to 5, it's hard to express yourself there. True. You know what I mean? Like anywhere. So the decision is always going to be an internal one, and you have to decide how you're going to express, if you're going to express, how much you're going to express, and if it's the right thing at that time for you to express. I'll be honest. And sometimes in my music, even in my whole career, there are some times that I know when I should express my true self, you know, and I know when I should, you know, let me pull back, let me pay attention, let me read the room, let me read the energy in the industry, and know how to express now and how to customize it and tailor it. And then sometimes I just want to be raw and express my music how I want it to be. This is how I want the piano to be. This is how I don't care what's happening, you know. So you have to know when to just dial it back or push it forward. It's all an internal, personal decision, you know, and you would bear the repercussion or the return of whatever decision that you make, you know.
Now let's talk. Let's go a bit into your music, right, and how much inputs you have in the production for every of your song. I mean, you have an album coming out really soon on the 13th. Congratulations.
Yes.
Isokuso.
Yes. Yes.
We'll get to that in a bit, but let's let's talk a little bit about, you know, your inputs when it comes to how you want every sound to sound.
100%. Like I'm there from the even to my styling, to my videos. Sometimes I'm even the one that writes the script and the treatment for the video and send it to the video director. And say, oh boy, listen, this is what I want you to, you know, because the thing is this, right? Like, I want to look back on all I've done and be very proud of every moment.
Sure.
The good, the bad, even if it was a wrong decision, as long as it was my decision. You know what I mean? I don't want it to be something where I don't want to look back and be like, I didn't want to wear that shirt, but there was this stylist at that time that was telling me this was the raining shirt, and that's why I wore it. You know, and now 5 years or 10 years on, I'm looking back like, oh boy, what's been they worry me that time? Why I go do that? That wasn't really what was in my mind, or that's not really me, or that doesn't represent me. You know, so I'm very hands-on with everything that I do. Of course, I listen and take everybody's opinion under advisement, but I never do it entirely because somebody else said so. Even if we talk about something and then I eventually do your suggestion, know that it's still, I took your suggestion, internalized it, and it became my own decision. I never want to make any kind of secondary movement. You know what I mean? Like I want to own everything that I'm doing, so I can really be proud of it while I'm doing it and proud of it even after I'm doing it. So after I've done it, so I'm 100% on all of my production, all my kick, my snare, my drum, the mixing of my vocals, the
everything, 100%.
Fantastic. Let's talk about Isokuso.
Yeah.
First of all, what inspired the name Isokuso? You talk too much.
Yeah. So
talk. It feels like you're calling someone out. It feels like a subtle shade.
No. So it's actually a double name song. It's Moving Train in bracket Isokuso.
Yeah.
Because I say Isokuso a lot over and over again in the song. It was actually written by a friend of mine, an incredible songwriter. His name is G Daddy. Incredible, you know. So I had the beat and the instrumental, and I knew that I wanted something a lot more cultural, you know. And my music is, my culture is more of like Pidgin English, because I'm from Port Harcourt. You know, my culture isn't Owambe, Yoruba. Like I didn't really grow up around that. You know what I mean? Right. I grew up around Pidgin English, you know, Anambra, Port Harcourt, you know. Yeah. But when I heard the beat, I knew that this is Owambe, man. You know what I mean? And as much as me also living in Lagos too, I understand the Owambe culture.
Right.
I didn't want to write it. Like I wanted someone who grew up in the culture to really write it. You know what I mean? Like I'm mature enough to say, you know, I am not the best for this. You know, like I want the best for this thing. Who is the better person to do it? Let me get that person. You know what I mean? So I found this writer, incredible guy, and then he was able to just put the song together and capture exactly how I wanted, and we went through it, and I directed him how I wanted it to sound. Okay. And then he now wrote from his own point of view, and fantastic. I love it. I love the song so much.
Oh, great. And you just gave it Isokuso.
Oh yeah.
There was no meaning to it.
No. Well, ask the writer. You don't have to interview him next. Yeah, but yeah, G Daddy. Shout out to G Daddy. Incredible songwriter.
So what should we expect from the entire album? I mean, it's going to be released on the 13th.
Yes, it's going to be released on the 13th. It's called Lagos Lover Boy. It's
Lagos Lover Boy.
Yeah, that's the name of the title. Oh, wow. That's the title of the album. It's a very interesting album because I feature Portable.
Portable.
I'm telling you.
Oh, wow.
And a lot of people, why do people do this? They're like, Portable is absolutely incredible.
No, he is as an artist. I mean, I think he's
okay, the
brilliant.
blend, right?
The blend,
yes.
Exactly.
A lot of people will
you are a mix of alternative music,
and soul, R&B,
and then you have...
Yeah. What?
You know what? Well, I think we're just going to keep our fingers crossed till we listen to the album.
Yes,
which will be released on the 13th.
On the 13th, there's Portable on there. There's Odumodu Black on there. I have a song with Fino.
You're not smiling.
Oh yeah, I have a song with Neo. I have a song with Nonsa Madi. Incredible.
I feel like the album is a paradox because then if you have to look at all the list of collaborators, it's
doing like
wonky like this. But hey, congratulations once again, Rick. It's always a pleasure having you with us. Let's head over to the kitchen. Our chef, Stephen, has made something really amazing for you.
All right.
So after you...
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Lagos Lover Boy. It turns out we have actually two lover boys right here in the kitchen because we have one who is a relationship expert, always giving them single men, telling them what to do. Thank you very much. Because we need mentors like you. We need role models like you. Yeah, thank you so much. And welcome to the kitchen, guys. Chef Stephen this morning has made for you strawberry crepes. A lot of love went into this meal. And there's strawberries. Please go ahead, Chef Stephen.
Explain yourself.
Okay, this is strawberry crepes. We all know what crepes is. It's like it's also in the family of pancake, but very thin and
lighter,
very light. And inside the crepes, there's whipped cream for the fillings, and then there's a little bit of chunks of strawberries in it as well. So. Fun fact about strawberry crepes. In France, there's a day set aside where the people of France eat. That's, I think, February 2nd is set aside to celebrate crepes.
So please, dig in, enjoy while he takes us through the origin of crepes.
It is.
What do crepes do to them in France that is so special?
Oh, pancakes originate. What did they originate?
America.
America?
But crepes are a French thing.
Yeah, they're like a French thing, but then again, it's hard to tell. Is it French or is it crepes or pasta? Yeah, I know, right?
Makes sense,
You're so talented.
You say you're so talented.
Skooki. Thank you so much.
Way better than I thought.
Do you cook?
All right, well done, Chef. Great work.
Thank you so much.
We gotta go. It's been a wonderful time on the show. And have any final words for that? You can just tell me. And just hear that.
It's very good.
Okay. And guys, just have a great day. We will see you tomorrow. Bye bye.
Have a great day, people. Bye.
Bye bye.
Entertainment means the world to me. Entertainment means traveling, sitting on the beach, sipping some nice wine, drinking some pina colada, eating some pineapple rice. Entertainment means being in studio, working, creating magic, creating music. Entertainment means riding bicycle, entering Okada and experiencing nice breeze. Entertainment is life to me.